Australian police do have corruption in their force. Even the ones that aren't corrupt are corrupt because they know what's going on.
And people wonder why people are turning against the police. If there's a bad apple, get them out. It's time to stand up, people.
The whistleblower is not the problem, just to be clear, everyone. It is what they have to disclose is the problem, and everyone should be concerned.
Hi, this is Janaya from Aussie Beach TV. It's Thursday the 8th of October 2015 and we're about to head over to the Southport Magistrates Court to interview supporters for Sgt Rick Flori. As children, we are taught to trust the police officers. The inside of a police station should be the safest place in Australia. Not so for 21-year-old chef Noah Bejic. In 2012, Noah Bejic was arrested and bashed by 4 police officers in Surfers Paradise. Sgt Rick Flori has since been accused of leaking the footage to the media. He has been stood down and now faces charges of misconduct. The officers involved in the assault retained their jobs in the Queensland Police Service, yet Sgt Rick Flori today faces criminal charges and potentially 7 years in prison for his decision to stand up. Tell us your name, where you're from and why you're here today.
My name is Chris Currier.
Okay. So what brought you here today?
We came here today to support Rick Flory in the fact of him being the whistleblower of what's going on down here with the policing of Queensland Police.
My name's Kyra. I'm just here to support Rick Flory because I believe he's a good man. I think there should be a lot more men like him in the police force. I believe he's been mistreated horribly, terribly, and they've picked on the wrong policeman.
Of course, we don't expect you to know all the details, but please tell us what you know about this case.
Unfortunately, it looks like Rick will be facing charges for being a whistleblower. And you know what? Our motto is good on him for blowing the whistle, because unfortunately we're at the receiving end of the brutality of Queensland Police, two Queensland Police officers. I need to make that very clear because we are definitely not against police officers. What we're against is that these police officers are using excessive force. They're pure brutality.
I know that there's injustice going on, severe injustice. This case is bringing the community together to talk about a global issue. If everyone is on the internet, they would know that police brutality, the militarising of police, the fatalities that are skyrocketing with the police, it is an escalating situation.
I do see a man who is defenceless being attacked by other police officers, okay? All right? This is not what should be happening in a safe society like Australia. Once you've got the guy restrained, he's restrained. Once he's in cuffs, he's in cuffs. There's not a lot he can do to you, all right? That's not the act of a big man, of somebody who should be protecting us in our society. That is really just an act of cowards.
If it's bad enough to punch someone when you're out on the town, why is it okay for them to do it once they get you into custody before you're even being charged or before you're even being convicted? They are the judge and jury. Yeah. They do it all before you even get to the courthouse. And then they'll come and they'll lie.
It's appalling that Rick is having to face these charges when the police officers that were involved in the actual bashing have received virtually no disciplinary action or court action. I think it's very hypocritical of the leadership of Queensland Service. It seems that they are just retaliating against him, and I feel that they are treating the public as if they're stupid.
My husband, unfortunately, was the person that received a brutal, absolute brutal assault. 4 officers from Queensland Youth Justice were out celebrating the fact that one of them's son was off to Iraq the next day to serve for his country. Also, Ray is also a ex-serving member for Australia, so he well and truly knows what is excessive force and what isn't. And the 2 officers in questioning, one in particular has 28 excessive force charges against him. Yeah. It is absolutely disgusting. Yeah. So we asked 2 questions here. Was it a coloured thing? You know, did he not like the colour of Ray's skin? Yeah. or what exactly was it? Because a 50-year-old man clearly demonstrating has more than enough experience to diffuse situations, is moving people on, and this officer has gone after them. And actually, in fact, the other person that the officer assaulted was there because he'd had a pacemaker fitted 5 weeks ago, and his pacemaker failed at work and he was revived. So he was celebrating the fact of his life. Yeah. But he was also an ex-serving member as well. So he got 3 broken ribs out of that. My husband, he's got memory loss, he has a brain injury. He can no longer work in the job that he is so passionately about. Spent 18 years working in youth justice. Yeah. But this is all thanks to these 2 officers that brutally attacked him. He's knocked unconscious on the ground and one is still putting 3 punches to his head. It is sickening. Tourists came forward, the amount of people that have come forward to say how sickening this is. Rick Flory has spoken up and said enough is enough. He no longer wants blood on his shift. Yeah. This is it. Is, good on the man. Shouldn't we as Queenslanders be there to support this man, not be turning against him?
And also you were saying how he was treated when he got taken under arrest and into the cells.
Into the cells. Yeah. He's had pepper sprayed into his genital area. So here he is, rolling around in agony. One of the witnesses from the cells turns around and says he could hear what they were doing to Ray in the cells. Unfortunately, because Ray has memory loss, it's very hard for him to recall these things, but he does remember trying to get water, he's handcuffed, out of the toilet and onto his genitals.
And how's the family coping after the incident?
To be quite honest with you, it has been one very hard struggle. When you've got to write to your husband every morning, clean your teeth, have a shower.
Yeah. You're right. Okay. Thank you for talking to us today. We'll give you. Is there anything else you wanted to say?
Just that my husband will never be the same again.
Yeah.
Because of this brutality, and people wonder why people are turning against the police.
Yeah.
They really are, and we're not about hating the police. We're about saying,
get rid of to protect us. Yeah.
Get rid of the bad apples. We're a family that we're on over $100,000 a year. We're now on benefits. Where's the fairness in this? Really?
Yeah. The whistleblower is not the problem, just to be clear, everyone. It is what they have to disclose is the problem, and everyone should be concerned.
Hello, Kylie. So we want to talk to you today about police corruption. Can you give us some insight?
Well, I can't really give you some insight, but I can give you a little bit of what I've, experienced and witnessed and rah. There was a gentleman by the name of Commissioner Peter Ryan. He was so close to the truth coming out about police corruption. Even the police that aren't corrupt are corrupt because they know of the corruption that's going on. So, it's got to come out. It's got to come out. How many more people have been belted in jails, in watch houses, in cells, in prisons? How many more? You're innocent and proved guilty? Nah, don't believe in it, sorry.
Yeah. So what kind of message do you think it's putting out to, people all over the world, especially young kids?
I believe they're going to lose a lot more support from future generations if they don't step up and start showing some, being a role model themselves.
I'd just like to say that Anna, when she was voted back and she gave a speech promising us a fairer Queensland. Anna, it didn't happen.
We've seen some of the stuff that's been going on in the newspapers and in the mainstream media. I mean, we've had young ladies raped in the back of police cars. We've had grandmothers tasered in the eyes by QPS officers. I mean, when's all this going to stop?
Do you think that police should be more accountable for their decisions, and why?
If they were accountable and transparent, as all organisations are supposed to with their compliance, then you would find that the public would have more reason to trust them.
It'll cause a chilling effect amongst the whole QPS. They'll be too scared to say anything if anything goes down here with Sgt Rick Flori. So I think this case is certainly going to set a precedent as to whether people can stand up and blow the whistle from now on.
Blow my whistle! You're watching me on Aussie Beach TV. Blow my whistle.
I tell you what, I'm really enjoying the view today, Janaya. I love the Gold Coast, so many beautiful sights. Oh, sorry. What beautiful eyes she has.
Aussie Beach TV. You're watching Aussie Beach TV.